All right, welcome back once again to another edition of Big Screen Small Talk. My name is Anthony Matola.
I'm Ryan Waltz.
And today we are here to do the first ever Big Screen Small Talk actor/director spotlight.
Yeah, we're going to start doing these videos on people we find worthy of a spotlight.
Worthy of our time to discuss on this show. And today, the first director spotlight is going to be Kevin Smith, one of my all-time favorites, and I'm almost positive he's one of your all-time favorite directors.
Yeah, he's in my top, I'd say 5 directors.
All-around swell guy. But I love his movies. I like everything. Maybe I'm a little biased. I'm a Kevin Smith guy, I guess. And I don't know. I like everything of his.
Yeah, I watched everything he's in, all of his stand-ups, his Evening with Kevin Smith.
Yeah, which
are just incredible. I could watch him just talk and talk and talk.
I've been dying to go to one of those. They're like 8 hours long. Some of them I've heard that he answers like 2 questions.
Well, that's how in I have the first 3 evening with, the 3 evening with.
The 3 evening.
And in that one, he answers one question about Bruce Willis.
Is that the one with the flinch story? Or is that... maybe that's the last one. That goes to hell, or one of the newer ones. I think he's talking about. When
he's like, and I flinched. Yeah, that's a great.
It's a funny story. But Kevin Smith got his start, 1994, with the release of Clerks, which he wrote, directed, basically did everything in that movie. Him and Scott Mosier and
Walt Flanagan. He played like 9 parts.
Yeah, Walt Flanagan was in that movie a lot. But I think that is. Depending on the day, what I'm watching, between that and Chasing Amy are my favorite Kevin Smith movies of all time.
Yeah, for me, it goes between either Clerks, Chasing Amy, or Clerks 2.
I like Clerks 2. A lot of people give me shit for liking that movie.
Well, I mean, we'll get to that then.
But
let's start with Clerks.
Clerks is just... I remember the first time I watched it, I thought it was cool that there were people who I felt like I did, thought like I did, spoke like I did. I really related to those characters. I want to be Randall. Unfortunately, I think I'm more Dante.
The first time I watched Clerks, I was not at the age to understand a lot of the jokes, like the adult.
Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for? The adult.
The blue humor?
No, just like...
Subject matter?
Yeah, adult subject matter. I mean... The way he hates his job, and they're his girlfriend's pushing him to go to college, and start his life. And I'm as a kid, I probably watched it for the first time I was 12.
Okay, wow, that's young.
Yeah, I mean, I was always getting a hold of cool shit as a little kid. So it was funny to me, the raunchy humor was funny.
Yeah, it's good. 37. 37 in a row. Love that movie. The black and white, I like that too. I don't know, I'm a sucker for black and white movies. But
yeah, I feel like it's weird how black and white can just make you feel like some person cares more about it.
Yeah, I don't know why. And in his case, I feel like it was I couldn't afford to.
That's exactly
to put color into it.
And it was also for well, no, that's why they had the shutters closed, so you couldn't tell from day from night.
They filmed that movie entirely overnight at that convenience store. I've been to that store. It's tiny.
Tiny?
Yeah, it's really tiny. And the video store, RST, wasn't even open. There was, it looked like a ghost town.
Hey, you open?
Yeah, it was like, yeah, we're not allowed to rent here anymore. Yeah. But it was cool. I took the obligatory picture leaning up against the in between.
The guys who work at the Quick Stop, they come out for smoke breaks and they just see people taking pictures.
Well,
there,
it's like a shrine.
Ugh.
There's stuff all inside the Quick Stop with that Kevin Smith sign. There's posters, and I mean, there's things all over that place for a small little store. Yeah.
See, I wouldn't picture them doing that. I'd picture them being appreciative of the fact that he did that.
Well, he worked there. He legitimately
I know he worked
there for a long time. I've been that
it was
town
a year
is a tiny.
He worked before he did Clerks.
That town is a tiny little freaking town. I was when I watched the Snowball Effect, the documentary on the Clerks X box set. They showed this movie theater that he said him and his dad went to, and I was like, holy shit. I had been there not realizing that was his
theater.
Yeah, his theater, his childhood theater, which I thought, once I knew that, I was like, I'm the coolest fucking dude ever.
Oh, man.
But he's just, I don't know, he's really cool, and he seems like he's a down-to-earth guy, and Clerks almost didn't get made. Harvey Weinstein, almost didn't get bought, didn't get mass-produced. Harvey Weinstein wanted nothing to do with it, and I think he tried to watch like 3 times
yeah,
or
3 or 4
something.
times before he actually sat through it.
And then a young John Gordon, I think is his name. I think we've discussed this in a previous podcast also.
Probably.
But,
well, Clerks was in my top 10. So
yeah, he told Harvey Weinstein, he said, watch the movie and get to 37. He's like, if you're not laughing by 37, then you can walk out again. And that was it. I think they signed, he sold the movie or whatever you do, the rights or whatever, to Harvey Weinstein. Distribution, yeah. That night, I think it was that was at Sundance, wasn't it? I think.
I'm not sure.
I really want to go to Sundance Film Festival. I think it'd be cool to go to one of those things.
I heard you can't get tickets, but maybe we can go and walk around.
Hell yeah! Just bump into people. Hey, what's up?
Hey,
we have a podcast. You wanna be on our show? Everybody watches it.
There's 34 people who really like it.
Yeah. None of them are family members or friends.
At all. It's total strangers.
Clerks is to me, Clerks is a really quotable movie too. It's like, it's like almost like a weekly occurrence that there's something.
I quote Clerks.
Something coming up from that movie.
On a daily
basis. It's crazy how relatable it is to everything. Clerks
yesterday, if you like Clerks on Facebook, they post like little pictures every once in a while.
Oh yeah,
just like cool photos. And yesterday they posted one. It was just a phone, and it just said 12 or I walk.
12 or I walk.
All right, 12. Can you believe that? He fucking left that slippery
little shit. Fuck. I'm sorry. Why do you do that for? What do you apologize?
You buckle like a belt.
Man, not today. Don't give me shit, man. I'm sorry. See? You buckled again.
You buckled like a belt.
An Asian drum major. I don't know.
Design major.
Was there a vindictive editor or something?
I don't know.
What? She hung up on me. You know, Clerks trivia, the name of the cat?
Hold on. Ramsey?
Nope.
Lenin? Lenin's cat?
Tomb.
Lenin's tomb. What animal's named like Pharaoh or something like that?
Ramses? Now we're talking about Nacho Libre.
I don't know. I know there's another film. But, so let's talk about a little bit of trivia for that then. Did you ever see the extra, I believe it's on the Chasing Amy? Or it might actually, I know it's on one of his other films. You know what?
Were they talking about Clerks?
Yeah, Clerks. Yeah, we're still talking about Clerks. But I think on the 10X, they show an animated scene of the funeral that you know how they walk into the funeral.
That's actually in a comic book. I had bought a Clerks comic book, believe it or not, and that was what it was about. It was them leaving the Quick Stop, and from when they got out of the car and they walked into the funeral home to when they're running out of the funeral, because that's all you see in the movie.
Well, it is animated when he was doing the Clerks TV show,
which I loved. I had that box set. Yeah, it's good.
But yeah, it's on one of those things, and you meet her character from Mallrats, I think. Chasing Amy, I forget her real name.
Was it? Oh, shit, what's her name in that movie? I want to say Gwen.
Is it Gwen?
Is it Gwen? No, is it?
I think it might be Gwen.
Gwen. Trish is the young girl in Mallrats, right?
No, I don't
the one who is writing the sex biography. Call me Donnie.
He likes to have sex someplace very uncomfortable.
The back of a Volkswagen. No, I want to say Gwen. Gwen Turner.
She's at the funeral as well, and then they mention that funeral at the beginning of Mallrats.
Yeah, well they mention it in Chasing Amy as well. Yes. That's like a trilogy. That movie takes place like 3 days in succession, and I believe Mallrats is actually first. If you like in chronological order, Mallrats happens first, and I think it's Clerks, and then followed by
well, they say
Chasing
at the
Amy.
Beginning, she's like Julie. It was
Julie Dwyer.
She was doing laps at the pool, getting ready for the TV show.
They don't mention that in Clerks.
Well, I know
why she was doing it. Which I think,
and then
Julie's the biggest ass.
Obviously, the alternate ending of Clerks for you who have not seen the 10X version
is Dante getting murdered.
Yeah, it's a weird I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it, but it really changes the tone of the movie like instantly.
And it really takes I'm Not Supposed to Be Here Today to a really dark place.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you think about that.
I watched it when I got the Clerks X the DVD. That was the first thing I watched. I was like, I got to watch the director's cut because I didn't know what it was.
It's
just
different music for the most part. And then the ending.
Man, that ending. And I mean, and then it just sits there. Like, Dante gets shot, and then I think they show him like behind the counter,
like laying with the blood. Or
yeah,
something like
and then it's over, and it's like, well.
And then the credits, there's no music. It's just like cash register sounds.
Yeah,
it's real creepy.
Yeah, the guy. Yeah, it's just, it goes really. It's I don't know. It takes a really strange turn, and then he leaves you with that.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Clerks. I love Clerks. Clerks is a good movie. So good. 37 is iconic. Totally iconic.
Well, that's that Facebook. They also posted a picture of just 37 Roman numerals, or not Roman numerals.
The scratches, like
yeah, it's just like 37.
Like if you're in prison.
Yeah.
Look at you.
37.
You gotta work out more. Cancer emergent. Fucking Nazi. Smoke my big fat dick. All that stuff. It's so good. And so, following Clerks, you followed that up with
Mallrats.
Mallrats.
Very next year, 1995.
Oh, it was the next year. I didn't realize that.
Clerks was 94 and Mallrats 95.
And I really like Mallrats. It's a goofy movie.
See, Mallrats is probably, I don't want to say my least favorite, but it's lower on the.
Really? You like Jersey Girl more than you like Mallrats?
I like Jersey Girl a lot.
I like Jersey Girl a lot too. I really like Mallrats. It's the introduction of Jason Lee.
I understand that. I love Jason Lee.
And he's so good in that movie. Everything he says is fucking quotable.
Mm-hmm.
I farted and she was giving me head.
You can go upstairs and my mom goes to sleep.
Yeah. Hey Renee, come over. My mom's asleep. Hartford, the Whale. It's such a that's a really good movie. She calls you callow. You know, when he's reading the note to him, here I was thinking it was the only nice thing in the letter.
I like when they're in the elevator and she's like, well, yeah, too little, too late. I thought you said it was a nice size.
I take you shopping all the time.
At stores I want to go to.
He's taking me, what'd she say? He took me out to dinner. He's taking me to the opera, and he's already introduced me to my mother. To her mother. His mother.
Yeah.
His mother. Ben Affleck, too.
Yeah, I
Ben
mean,
Affleck's
that was
first movie.
His introduction into the.
It's funny because have you ever watched the commentary on Mallrats?
Yeah.
There's a story where he's telling him where Kevin Smith is saying that Ben Affleck was in between shooting Mallrats and getting ready or starting shooting of Good Will Hunting, and throughout the whole movie, Ben Affleck would keep leaving notes like, "Thank you so much for putting me in this movie. Thank you so much for giving me this part." And it turns out that Ben Affleck ends up being, one of the biggest stars in the world. Not too long after that, yeah. Good Will Hunting's really good.
Would that come out? I imagine 96.
Yeah, it couldn't have been too much longer.
Mm-hmm.
You really Mallrats is one of
chocolate covered pretzel.
Oh, hey, Mr. Svenning. That's that whole thing too. Can you call me second suitor? Suitor number 2 sounds like a bathroom code. so good. Shut the fuck up, man. He keeps yelling at Dante. Dante's in like all the movies, or like a good majority of the movies, and he plays Dante Hicks, Gil Hicks, and in Dogma, he's got a really short little scene where he's a news reporter, and I think it's Grant Hicks, and they're all related to Dante. They're either brothers or cousins or something, and he's in Chasing Amy too. He's him and Matt Damon in the one scene when Affleck and Jason Lee go to MTV to sell the rights to Ballman and Chronic. Snoochie Booches.
Yeah, I didn't remember that.
That's really good. Mallrats was goofy.
Yeah, I think that's my problem with it. I love his serious tones.
Yeah.
And that one was just a little too.
When he's got something to say, he's a really, really good writer. I
love the story when Gwen is in the dressing room and like Silent Bob's head comes, pounding through. Mm-hmm. Originally, they were supposed to run into the adjacent dressing room, and there was going to be a hole where they could see her changing, and Silent Bob was going to like jerk off, and the semen was going to fly over and get in her hair, and in the next scene, her hair was going to be all matted.
Something About Mary.
Like
style.
Something About Mary.
Way before Something
But
About Mary.
they told him that America would never find that funny, and he had to take it out of the movie.
And that was
one of the most iconic things.
From Something About Mary.
Yeah.
That's funny. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Did you know him and Joey Lauren Adams were dating at that time?
Who?
Kevin Smith.
He was dating her?
Yes, he
Good
was.
Good job.
For a while. Chasing Amy is loosely based on their relationship.
I don't believe that.
I swear to you.
He says in a film it was about one of his childhood girlfriends going to France or something like that, and he didn't like it.
I could have swore I've heard from him that it was about loosely based on his relationship with Joey Lauren Adams.
I can believe that.
Who I like Joey Lauren Adams. I like her a lot. I like her a lot. She's good.
So have we said all we needed to say about Mallrats?
I guess. I mean, the Dirt Mall. I mean, I've been to Menlo Park. There's a couple places. Yeah, it's not far from where I grew up. There's a couple places. I don't know. Maybe that was one of the initial like, ooh, I know everything he's saying. I know where that place is. I know where that place is. So yeah, the girl with the 3 nipples. That's a funny scene.
Yeah. Only when she pulls it off and eats it.
I don't see it. Are you blind? Jason Lee's delivery is phenomenal in that movie, and to me, it only gets better in, I guess, the next movie we could talk about, Segway.
Yep.
Is Chasing Amy.
Debatably the best Kevin Smith film.
I think it's his best script. To me, it's without question. It's his best.
It's his best script. I think it's my favorite.
It's got the most serious tone to the movie. I think it's got the best dialogue in it. I
love the story he told about his mother after she watched that. She's like, I will relate with that movie more than you'll ever know, or something like that. And he's like, ugh.
Really? Ugh. Did you? Speaking of his mom okay. is really, really cool. She was in Clerks.
Yeah,
she was the milk lady at the end.
Mm-hmm.
There was
his sister's in that as well.
Oh, really?
The woman who's like, she says that's why she artificially inseminates.
Oh, that's his sister. That's cool. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
They did a podcast, a Smodcast, and it was a 2-parter with him and his mom, just kind of talking about stuff. And the whole time he said, I've been trying to get my mom to smoke weed. I've been trying to get her, and she wouldn't do it. I refused to do it. So he finally said, well, will you eat it? So the whole time you're progressively listening to her eating a brownie and getting higher, and then the conversation gets more and more blue. It is so funny.
Sounds great.
Chasing Amy is a great film. It's great dialogue. It's great performances by
everybody involved.
And it's a relatively, I mean, for that time anyway, it's an unknown cast. Jason Lee maybe only had Mallrats in him. Ben Affleck wasn't Ben Affleck.
They wanted David Schwimmer to play Ben Affleck's character. They wanted, I think, Drew Barrymore to play Amy, or to play
I guess I could have seen that, especially at that time. She was that.
Well, originally they were going to give her, they were going to give him so much money to do it with a big cast, and he was like, "But I want to do it with my cast." But so he took substantial less money to do that.
I like that. I like that a lot. Now that I know that,
mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Scott Mosier didn't.
Well, Mosier's the producer. The producers always want more money. I like Moj though. Yeah, Chasing Amy. I mean, it's
sweet
just
camper.
So the dialogue is great. The 4-way road scene is one of my favorite Kevin Smith scenes. Mm-hmm. Who's gonna get to the $100 bill first? The bull dyke. Why? You're figments of your fucking imagination. So good. Such a good movie. The end, and it's heartbreaking. The end, that scene when he tells her that he loves her for the first time.
Dude.
In the car, like, are you getting goosebumps?
I love that scene so much.
It's so good. The crying and then the rain, and then when she finally comes back, when they get out of the car, you know,
mm-hmm.
The whole thing with the painting. We went to a diner, and they had all of these paintings on the wall, and they all had
sale?
Yeah, they all had price tags on it. So I instantly went to that scene, and I started just splurting.
No, sir, I'd like to debate over the price of fine art.
So good. What's the guy he calls him? The guy he gets to come and take the art off the wall.
Get the Percelli off the wall. Yeah. Or something like that.
It's like, what? And he's putting the pencil back behind his ear like he just did something. Such a good movie. Where are we putting it? In your apartment. I couldn't believe you were wrapped around a lesbian. I wanted to watch TV. You were fucking on my couch.
The first time, I think the reason why Chasing Amy is such a big film for me is I first watched it when I was like 16 or 17. and I was with a girl at the time, but like we were on the outs,
and
then we'd broken up. And that film, I was just like, I just watched it and hated
breakup
life.
movie?
Yeah, just like I watched it and I hated life, and it was awesome.
Do you feel bad for Affleck in that movie?
No, because one, he fucked it up himself.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think he got into.
He was too insecure, and that happens. If you're insecure, and you can't be insecure.
It's a strange. Yeah, but it's. I mean, that's a strange past. I mean, I could kind of relate to her doing the things that she had done. Like Banky says, like as much as an asshole as Banky is, you know, I think he's the smartest one in that movie, because I mean the whole movie he's calling it. She's done stuff, she's seen stuff that we've only read about. You know, you're not ready for it. He keeps saying we, but he's, you know, you're not ready for this. You don't know what this is all about, and this is gonna go bad. And when it goes bad, you're the one who's gonna be hurt. And he lost everything. Holden loses everything at the end of that movie. Him and Banky aren't working together anymore, and even that too. That scene at the end with chasing Amy, and he gives her the comic book, and the last little boxes. I'm sorry.
Well, he talks about like throughout the film, like wanting to write something more personal.
Yeah.
So like that was his
so good. Yeah. I'll when are you gonna write something personal? I have something to write about. What do you guys do? Movie. He shows the fist. Good God. So good. That's now I want to watch. Now I really want to watch Chasing Amy. I could watch that movie whenever.
Sometimes I'm into like girl on girl. Sometimes, but not all the time.
I like the idea of a chick with a horse. Swear to God, if you tell me your list looks fucking peaking, I'll put your fucking teeth down your throat.
That is a great part.
Darius, Coey's whatever, but Darius was an arch fucking bushman. Such a great line. It's such a good movie. It's such a good movie.
Oh, I love in the hockey scene where he's like trying to like get it out.
Get it out, yeah.
And the guy who's Rick Darius from the original.
Yeah.
He's like. He's
Jesus,
like,
man.
Even I knew what you were trying. Even I knew what you were getting at.
I fucked Rick and sucked. What did she say? I blew Coey while Rick fucked me.
Yeah.
You happy? Oh, such a good movie.
The whole like them fighting. Well, it was like them having the conversation while the hockey scene was happening at the same time. So it was kind of like every hit was like they were.
It's cool. Hockey.
The
plays
symbolism.
A big role. Oh yeah, no.
Know,
I mean, he hit you over the head with that. But that's, I don't know. That's I really think that might be his best movie.
Mm-hmm.
To me, anyway. In my personal opinion, that's one of my. It might be my favorite Kevin Smith
movie. Well, I won't
movie.
say it's his best movie. I'll say it's my favorite.
It might be his best movie. I mean, I mean, for me, it's my personal, opinion.
Mm-hmm.
It's done so well, and the writing. I love dialogue, man. I love good dialogue, and that's, like I said, next to Clerks, those are to me his absolute best scripts, and it's the most memorable dialogue. It's the most memorable stories, and it's just all around a really, really good, solid film. And then he followed that up with, was it Dogma?
Did you scream Black Rage? I almost pissed myself.
That's so good. What's a Nubian? Pulls out the gun. He taps him on the head. What? Hooper X. Assalamu alaikum, my brother.
See that man? The man's a devil.
Always keep your eyes on the man. That's a funny movie. So yeah, what he followed that up with Dogma.
2 years later, 1999.
Which I think is really smart. Growing up a Catholic.
See, I'd never had any religion instilled in me growing up.
I grew up Catholic, went to Catholic elementary school, Catholic high school, went to church on Sundays, still go to church on Sundays. It's a really, really smart film, and a different take on certain things. I'm really open-minded. I'm not like one of those, you have to do it. I care less. If it's good, it's good. If it's funny, it's funny. If it makes sense, it fucking makes sense. And that movie, to me, made a lot of sense. Chris Rock is really good in that movie.
Dude, his piece is going to be rubbing inside your armor.
Beautiful big titty naked bitches don't just fall out of the sky, And Selma Hayek, the Candy Girl scene.
Candy Girl.
I like them dancing.
On my world.
She's
Wait, is Hooper X in that? No.
Hooper X is the gangster in that movie.
I never put that together until just now.
He uses the exact same people in like the majority of his film.
I know, but
which is fine.
Still,
with
it
me.
gets by you.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's such a. No, you're not looking at the fucking guys in that scene.
And also, I think I watched Dogma first, and then Chasing Amy. It's been some years since I've seen Dogma.
Yeah, I don't know why. Dogma has not had much rewatch value for me.
We were talking about Kevin Smith today, and I was sitting on that couch, and I was looking at my movies, and I'm looking at this shelf over here. I'm like, holy shit, I do have Dogma. Like, I completely forgot I had it because it's with, like, my box sets, and I have, like, the 2-disc one.
Yeah.
So it's over there. I just completely forgotten.
When I met him, he signed... you have the box. It's the box set's got like the cardboard sleeve on it with like all the drawings of them. Affleck is like front and center, and he signed it to Anthony and then drew an arrow up to Ben Affleck. Wrote "Totally gay, Kevin Smith." I thought it was absolutely hysterical.
Well, I told you why he does that.
I don't remember.
He beats.
I thought we've had. Yeah, he might have had.
He likes to beat Affleck to the punch because apparently he likes to draw a sign up to Kevin that says "Totally gay," and Kevin writes. Not really, but this guy totally gay. Like,
that's funny. I like that they're friends. I think it's cool. Dogma is really really smart. Alanis Morissette, I think her acting debut. I guess if you want to call it that, at the end of the movie, she plays God. Linda Fiorentino is okay. I really enjoyed Alan Rickman in that movie as the Archangel. He's hysterical. He's such a dick in that movie. He pulls his pants down. Apparently, his back had been thrown out, and the wings that he wore were like hundreds of pounds. Yeah,
I believe that they look heavy.
Yeah, it's like every once in a while, Kevin Smith will throw in some like high budget special effects and stuff like that. Again, Jason Lee, really, really good in that movie.
I can never remember the whole line, but it's my favorite line in the movie. He was like, "No sin, no something better
than central air conditioning." I like the joke he tells. Come on, bartender, can I get I want a holy bartender.
You don't know how to make a holy bartender?
The guy with that weird fucking guy with the cleft chin, with the cleft lip is the bartender. And he shoots him up. Get it? So good. His hands are so fucking big. Jason Lee, I feel. He always acts with his hands.
He used to be a professional skateboarder.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. That's cool. I guess he was good, right? Like he was.
I said professional.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, there's a lot of people who are professional.
This was back in the day when being a professional skateboarder wasn't easy.
There was like 10 of them. Yeah. So I guess he must. I would like to go and YouTube some Jason Lee.
He had a famous skate scene with
Tony Hawk.
No. I think it was for Stereo Skateboards, and it had like a Spoon song in it. And like
Spoon song?
Yeah, there's a band called Spoon. They're a pretty big band.
Never heard of them. All right.
They're good.
How big are they? Dogma's really good. Dogma's really smart.
Mm-hmm.
So what's
after Dogma?
Was Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back?
2 years later.
Which again, I like that movie. It's a goofy movie. It's I feel it's a thank you to the fans. Yeah.
It's a movie for the fans. If you're a fan of Kevin Smith and you like Jay and Silent Bob,
it's all about the View Askew-universe. Everybody in the movie, everybody
it's because he was trying to end it.
Yeah, and that didn't happen at all.
Did you ever watch Past the Credits?
Well, yeah, with Alanis Morissette, right?
Yeah, she comes and closes the book.
Yeah, I went and saw that like 3 times in the theater. This was like before all of YouTube hit, and like the only way you could like talk or figure out anything about Kevin Smith was going to the viewaskew.com, to that website, and they had a big message board, and he posted on there a lot, and they had this thing that if you sent in your movie stubs, if you had gone and seen it the weekend, you sent in your movie stub, you would get a free autographed poster, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back poster, a mini poster. I did it. I sent my 6 stubs in, and I went with another person. Never received one poster. I was so upset with it.
Maybe he'll hear this and he'll send you.
Well, I was lucky enough. I did get, when he released the Clerks X documentary. The box set. He did this big autograph signing at the Stash, and I'd never been to the Stash before, and it was all over the website. Come, he'll sign for everybody.
Come hither.
Yeah, come, hear ye. Sign anything and everything was what was on the website. So I rushed, got all my stuff. I had work that day, came back home, got all my DVDs. Didn't realize until I got to the end of the line, which was about 4-5 blocks long, that I forgot Jersey Girl. I was so mad.
And he's going to take it as a slight.
Yeah, I didn't want to be that guy. It's like, oh, you got everything else but Jersey Girl? You know, you're a shit fan. I remember I met his wife that day online, Jen Schwalbach. She was at the ATM, and I was standing behind her, and she turned and walked away, and I was like, I know you. I'm like, you're so much. She's a lot prettier in person. Mm-hmm. As I'm waiting online now for the ATM, we had tickets. It wasn't even tickets. We got there. It was like a first come first serve. Was wrapped around the block. Donkey Lips from Salute Your Shorts was online or was there, which was kind of weird.
He was waiting for Kevin Smith. That's awesome.
So
I love Donkey Lips.
I go to the bank to get money. I come walking back to my spot, which is a few blocks, and the person that I was with back up. Get to the end of the line is a girl and her family, mother and father, and the girl's in a wheelchair holding a sign, I'm the last one in line. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Unfortunately, now I felt bad. I'm like, well, now she's not going to be the last one in line because we're behind her. Come back from using the ATM, and the person that I'm with is nose to nose with a 40-something-year-old woman holding the sign now, I'm the last in line, and the girl in a wheelchair and her parents are nowhere to be found. I'm like, well, what the fuck just happened? What did I miss? They're going, no, like I thought they were gonna have a fight. Apparently, this old 40-something-year-old woman was going off about how could you they capped the line in the store. We started talking to people. They said, no, you come, you'll go ahead of us. They were really nice. We got to talk to them, and the person I was with ended up getting into a fight because the older woman had made a comment. How do you expect anybody to see the sign if you give it to a cripple?
Ooh.
And the girl got really upset and she started crying, and the person I was with was nose to nose with. I thought there was going to be a fucking fight. Thankfully, there wasn't a fight. Kevin Smith hears about this. I guess someone from the store had come out and said, now he's only signing 2 things because there was too many people there. And I was like, well, fuck, man. The fight happens. It got back to someone from the store, which led it to get back to Kevin Smith. I'm at this point now. I get off the line and get something to eat. I'm coming back down the block, and the person I'm with is standing in the middle of the street, a block away from where we were standing, waving her arms. And I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing off the line? We're going in. We're going in." Like, what do you mean we're going in? Kevin Smith had told the people to go out and get the girl in the wheelchair and her family. That he was gonna have them skip the line. The mother, one of the nicest.
Bring these guys.
It's my niece and my nephew. They're coming with me. You do something nice for somebody. I got in. I had about 10 minutes with this guy. Mm-hmm. Was the nicest guy I ever met. Signed everything I had. Personalized things. Took pictures with me. Was just the sweetest man. Thanked us for standing up to this woman. I was totally fucking mush-mouthed when I met him.
You've told me the story before, but you didn't tell me about the cripple.
Dude, we went... yeah, you're a jerk.
Yeah, well, it's the only adjective I have to describe her at the moment.
But the coolest thing was, it was like a Goodfellas / swinger scene, because like we not only did we like get to walk past the entire line, but we got brought in through the back entrance of the stash. Didn't have to come through the front. We come in through the back, and
wheelchair wouldn't fit.
We walk through this door, and there's Kevin Smith sitting like we're behind the table that he's signing, and I was like, ooh, holy shit. Really, really nice guy. Really, really nice guy.
What were you eating? I have to ask.
I got sandwiches. We were in Jersey. Went to the deli. I got a pepperoni and mozzarella sandwich. Delicious.
So were you mid sandwich when you were running?
No, I had it in a bag. I was coming down. I started running, and I see her standing in the middle of the street, yelling, "Come on, come on!" So I break into a sprint, which is almost like a speed walk
for any other
or a jog for And I get there, and yeah, we didn't end up eating until on the way back in the car on the way back. It was just a really, really cool experience. He surpassed what I thought he was gonna be. I mean, I thought he was a nice guy, but he seems like he's the real McCoy. He's a real genuine guy, and just couldn't understand why people really, really like his shit. It's cool. He was cool. That was a really, really good day. Totally got taken off of
Dogma.
No, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Strike Back.
I like it. It's funny. It's dopey.
Yeah, I love that Jason Lee plays 2 characters.
Yeah. Well, I like that Jay Muse is the star of this movie. Mm-hmm. Jay Muse, in my mind, carries this whole fucking movie.
Unbelievable. Inconceivable.
Yeah, the music's really good in that movie. Eliza Dushku.
I love me some Eliza.
I'm not a fan of Ali Larter. She was the
Varsity.
blonde. Yeah, she wears the whipped cream bikini in Varsity Blues.
It's weird. That's how I'll know her for the rest of her life. Poor girl.
I think that's how everybody's going to remember her. That, and she's one of the. I don't know if she was Missy or Sissy or whatever her name is, Christy. What was Shannon Elizabeth's name in that movie?
Scheme.
Yeah, what the hell was her name?
I don't know.
Justice.
Justice.
They don't need that. I love it. Did he do the Planet of the Apes?
Yeah.
It's such a I don't know. I like that movie. Sean William Scott has a good little scene. I love the ladies.
I love animals. Stupid.
Hey there, Mr. Science Guy.
Don't put your needle in my eye.
How do you like that, you stupid sheep fucker?
This guy said he'd fuck a sheep. He's not one of us.
Put the dick down. Be Don Juan Delanucci. That was my screen name for a really long time. Don Juan Delanucci. Nobody got it. I got it. I like being the coolest guy in the room. Yeah, when nobody gets it.
I am Ray. God damn it, you didn't know your lines. You wouldn't last a day on the creek.
You're the Dawson, right? Such a... What does he call? You're Silent Bill, and I'm Ray. That's a funny movie.
You didn't read the fucking script, did you? There's a script. There's a script for this movie.
You wouldn't last a day on the creek. I like Vanderbeek. Vanderbeek is good.
I like him for that line alone.
You wouldn't last a day on the creek.
What, Shannon? People like monkeys. We love this monkey. See?
I am the fucking clit commander. And
they did that trade for Wes Craven to be on Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and then Jay and Silent Bob were in Scream 3.
Is that how that happened?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. What are they doing here?
Miramax, so.
Not to get off topic, but the NFL draft is getting ready to start in 20 minutes, and Clinton Dix, there it is.
Clinton Dix.
They don't usually do this.
Oh.
I mean, I don't know if it looks like they're introducing these guys. Like nobody knows where these guys are getting picked. Like Johnny Manziel may not get picked in the first round, and they're fucking gonna bring him out. Oh, that's terrible. He's going number 1. All right. Well, to get back to Kevin Smith, I couldn't believe that we were
I love
seeing
Will
these
Ferrell.
Will Ferrell is great. Fuck beans, that was them, wasn't it? Will Ferrell is really, really good. Marshall, Will, and Holly.
Fucking PR disaster by letting his butt fucking Brady Bunch go.
And might I add, you have a fine-looking boy there, Judd Nelson. I thought that was cool too because they talk about Judd Nelson in one of my favorite scenes in that's in Dogma. When they meet Linda Fiorentino, when she realizes that they're the two apostles, one doesn't talk and one you can't get him to shut up. He's talking about watching 16 Candles, you know. We went to look for Shermer, Illinois, and guess what? There is no Shermer in Illinois. And they're talking about 16 Candles and Judd Nelson, and they're saying how, you know, Judd Nelson is boss in that movie, and he's fucking great.
Because at the end of Chasing Amy, they talk about going. There's a comic that spans. It's called Chasing Dogma, which spans the end of Chasing Amy.
We're getting on it. We got to catch the bus. He gets into the Chasing Amy story.
Yeah.
Did you know that I wanted to be a dancer in Las Vegas? Yeah. You know about Vegas. We got the Grand fucking Canyon.
Oh, man. I love that fucking scene.
That scene is great.
There's a... nobody else would know this but me. Because in the years in MySpace, I found this little band. Yeah, dude. I found this little band called the Dinner Party Ambiance. And they were just like electronic. And they released one song where they did all this music. And if I remember, I'll put a link in the video. But they did this song and they didn't do any lyrics to it. So they just took clips from different films.
And, that sounds neat.
Yeah. And the film they took most from was Chasing Amy. Like they almost do the entire where he admits his love to her. And then they do the end. And then they take it from Eternal Sunshine.
Oh. What, the Dinner Party Ambiance?
Yeah, I'll link it. If not, I'll send it to you.
I'd like to check that out. That seems pretty interesting. It's a cool concept.
It's cried.
Really?
Yeah, back in the day.
Huh. It seems like a really, really cool concept.
Like I said, that movie meant a lot to me back then. So
Chasing Amy.
So hearing it in that dramatic sense,
it makes it mean even more.
Yeah.
It makes it more
relevant?
Your movie. Yeah, relevant. So yeah, that's Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. It's a love letter to the fans.
Mm-hmm.
It's really like thanks for sticking with us, and liking our stupid movies. Because he wraps it up. I feel like he did a pretty decent job of, in his own goofy way of wrapping it up. He only made that movie for a handful of people, I think, anyway.
The time.
The worst day of the motherfucking time. I think I want to know you. My jungle love.
See, like, the excuse he made for why it wasn't actually wrapped up, though, the Excuniverse?
No.
When Alanis Morissette closes the book, she has the bookmarker halfway through the book.
Ah. Really?
Yeah, so he gave himself that little bit in case he ever wanted to come back.
I thought that was just a religious thing. Cause I'd never seen the bookmark. The priest at mass they walk down with this big massive Bible like the one that she was holding, and they have a bookmark in it. I've never seen it.
Oh.
At the end, I didn't think much of it. I guess that's a good way of getting
around it.
Yeah.
Well, the next film was his first film outside of the Excuniverse.
Yeah.
Which is Jersey Girl.
Which I like. It gets beat up because of the whole...
I don't understand why it gets beat up.
Because of Affleck and Jennifer Lopez were like the it... They were like the first it power couple. They were Bennifer. They were the first mushed up name.
That wasn't until after that, though.
No. They broke up about a month before that movie was released. They were all over the place. And then they break up, and then and Jennifer Lopez is in that movie for maybe 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, I forgot she's in that movie.
Yeah, she plays. She's the Gertie Senior.
Mm-hmm.
She's the mother. And I don't know. I thought they were cute. I really liked the little bit of a relationship we got of them.
Mm-hmm.
I bought it. I bought them being madly in love. And I don't know. I really like that movie. It's a sweet movie. George Carlin is fucking incredible on
George
his
Carlin.
game. Yeah, R.I.P. George Carlin is right. On his game in that movie. Really, really good. Stephen Root is good. My first introduction to Sweeney Todd.
Yeah. I've never met George Carlin, but I don't know. There's something about him that he's always felt like a father figure to me. Mm-hmm. I think it's because I watched him at a young age, and my dad loved him and he used to have all his stand-ups. And I remember, as a kid, I watched, I think it was Carlin on Campus. Mm-hmm. And there's a scene where he does, this nursery rhyme called, it's rat. And I remember it. I watched it one time in my life, but I remember it. Rat shit, bat shit, dirty old twat. 69 assholes tied in a knot. Hooray, lizard shit, fuck. And that was the rhyme. And I repeated it for all night.
I'm sure your mother was really happy about that.
Well, my dad, he kept laughing at it, and then he's like, all right, one more time. That's it. You're not allowed to do it anymore. I don't want to hear you doing this at school. So I was like, all right. And I made it, I took it, and I was like, all right, here we go.
You sold it.
I was like, oh, loosey-goosey. Loosey-goosey.
Lion face.
Lemon face. Lion face. And
call action, guys.
Yeah. Then what do they do all day at school the next day?
Lemon shit, rat shit.
Rat shit, dirty old twat.
What does that mean? I have no idea.
I have no idea what it means, but it rhymes, and I think it's hilarious.
He's so good in that movie. Carlin is really, really good in that movie. That movie's got a lot of heart, and that was Liv Tyler. I was not a Liv Tyler fan. I was never had a crush on Liv Tyler until I saw that movie and fell in love with Maya.
Yep.
Kind of the same way with Garden State and Natalie Portman.
I hate Garden State.
What?
I don't like it, I said.
And that's this edition of Big Screen Small Talk. I'm going to hit Ryan in the head with a shovel. Look for it on YouTube.
It's going to be the next big thing.
That's for another podcast. I'm totally, wow. That's a really sweet movie. The relationship between Affleck's character and Liv Tyler's Maya is it's great. It's great. She just fits into that family, and she gets herself intertwined. And that little girl is a singer now. You can find her on YouTube.
I know. I recently saw a picture of her.
I forget what her name is.
As an adult.
Yeah, her face looks exactly the same. I forget what her name is. Raquel Castro, I think might be her name.
What are your expectations, my father?
Yes, I have those too. I have parts. That's a good movie. Can we write Dirty Dancing again? Take the kid to see the cats. He'll drive the Batmobile. George Carlin is great. George Carlin is he's really good in the one scene that he's in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. The one official rule of the road.
Of course they're going to kick you out if you don't make it with the head.
If I got to take a shot in the mouth to get 100 miles down the road, you do what you got to do. Oh, man, George Carlin. That's a shame what that guy is gone.
You know, Jersey Girl is a great movie. I don't understand. I don't understand why all the hate for it.
It's one of the better romantic comedies I've seen. I think in a while. It's got the perfect amalgam of everything. Mm-hmm. You know, everything that you want in a romantic. For me anyway, that I want in a romantic comedy. I want to believe the characters. I want to be in that relationship. You know what I mean? And that relationship with him and Liv Tyler, like I want to be in that relationship. It seems so perfect. They just fit into each other, and I like him. I like his turn, you know. And it's funny that the whole way it happens that he's making fun of Will Smith. He says that thing about Will Smith, and then at the end, Will Smith is the one that makes him finally realize that, you know, what's important is his family and this girl that he's been kind of suppressing his feelings for.
Did you know that originally Will Smith's part in that film was going to be Bruce Willis?
Really?
Yeah, like, you know, at the beginning.
He was going to talk about moonlighting instead of.
No, he was going to talk about his music career. Yeah,
Bruno.
That's what he's going to talk about.
He loves Bruno. Kevin Smith. If you listen to the Smodcast at all, he's a big Bruno guy. That's really funny. That would have been good.
Yeah, that was what the original plan was.
I love Bruce Willis. So what was the next? What's the next Kevin Smith movie? Was that Red State?
No, dude. After
Why
Jersey
can't I
Girl?
remember? Clerks 2.
I'm
sorry.
Man.
Hold on. I don't have my thing up. Wow, there's a couple movies before Red State. Sorry, Mr. Smith.
Red State is his newest movie.
I like Clerks 2.
I love Clerks 2. That's
the wrap up.
Yeah.
To me, anyway. That was the way he puts the bow on it at the end of the movie, and I didn't see that coming. I don't know about you, but when they're in that. When they're in the jail cell and Randall's like, there's only one thing to do. We should buy the Quick Stop and the video store and open it ourselves. And I was like, holy shit.
They should.
Wow, that's a great idea. I wonder if they're going to be there. I'll have to take a ride out. That was such a cool idea. Mm-hmm. Rosario Dawson's really good. I thought she fit in with those existing characters. Really, what are you laughing at? You thinking about the...
No, I'm laughing at one of the evening whists. He talks about how Jay Muse... in that movie, he just got out of rehab, and he was like their cheerleader that got them through that movie.
Jay Muse was?
Yeah, like he was like the best supporter on the set. And he used to go up to Rosario Dawson and be like, hey, I just want to let you know I was watching your scene in Alexander last night.
Oh, Muse. I like Muse too. I got to meet him.
Yeah.
I met him and Dante actually at a Monster Mania convention. The one in Cherry Hill. They were both there at the same time.
Damn, I would love to meet Dante.
Musical. Dante was cool. I had a stupid smudge on my fucking camera, so the picture didn't come out. My picture with Muse came out though.
Because he spotted out the smudge.
Yeah, he was the one. The fucking unreal. I was so mad. I lost a lot of really good pictures that day. But no, Rosario Dawson is really, really good in that movie, and I like Elias.
Yeah, Elias
really
is great.
Goofy, but I mean, he had some of the funniest lines in that movie.
Hello, do you have any interest in opening the Ultimate Fan Site for both the Transformers and the GoBots? Because I'd moderate them both for free.
Pillow pants. Lister feet. It's her mouth troll. Just shakes his head.
You know how when girls are real young,
their parents put a troll in their pussy.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he just goes, you're never going to believe what the fuck Elias just told
me. You ducked because you swung at me.
Because you... May your first child be a masculine child.
Yeah, that's hysterical. Randall. Nice. And I thought that was cool, too, the way he proposed to her.
Oh, my God. She got pregnant off the toilet seat. You jerked off.
Oh, man. Movies.
Egg a movie muffin?
I have a movies, the visor. When Clerks 2 came out on DVD, they had like this, it was a box set, and it looked like a Happy Meal. Came in that kind of box, and it came with the visor, and it came with the movie, came with the visor, and like a couple stickers or something. The visor was cool, though. It's the only visor I've worn.
I have a third disc of special features. That's what mine came with.
Oh, really? Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like making of and shit like that.
I don't know what's on it, actually. I've never
You
watched
never
it.
watched it.
But I got it.
Kevin Smith's
Some
movies.
people don't.
His movies are one of the few that I actually go and I listen to the commentaries on. They're hysterical, man.
The first time I watched Clerks X, I watched the original version. I watched the extended version so I could tell the difference, and then I watched it with the 1999 or the 1994 commentary, and then I watched it with the new commentary. All in
that's
one
cool.
day.
I don't think I've watched. Wow. One day? Wow.
One day.
That's a lot of Clerks.
Started at like noon. You can get it done by like 8.
Yeah, it's only like an hour and a half long, right? You watched The Big Bang the other night?
Yeah.
With Star Wars?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of down for doing a 6 elegy, whatever you call a 6 movie.
Oh, just sit through them?
Yeah, just go through them all in one day, chronological order. I'd be down for that. Again, off topic, but I don't know. It just made me think of it watching Clerks 6 times in a day.
It was 4 times.
4 times, whatever. Well, no, you said you watched the commentary too, so you got to add that as.
Yeah, I watched it once. Regular.
You said there was 3 versions.
The regular version, the extended version, the
94 commentary,
and the new commentary, which was picture-in-picture, which was pretty sweet.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like when they do the video commentary. I think on Mallrats, like certain parts, they throw that picture-in-picture up in there. It's cool.
Mallrats Blu-ray just came out.
Yeah.
Apparently it's extended.
Really? I wonder what the hell they added to that. I'd be interested
to
know. I've seen that movie enough that I think I'd be able to pick it out.
Oh, no, I'd probably pick it up if I found it. I got Mallrats real cheap.
Merle Dixon was in that movie. Mrs. Venning. So good. So what do we got next? Because I obviously don't know my Kevin Smith timeline.
Next is Zack and Miri.
I like Zack and Miri too.
So did I.
You know, not one of my favorite Kevin Smith movies, but I like it. It's funny. He always talks about leave it to me to be the one guy who can't do anything for Seth Rogen. I do feel like he was going.
He was reaching for
Apatow-y kind of
even
film.
with that, I mean, I still liked it.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
It's a Kevin Smith movie.
That's one movie where I watched and I was like, I've been all those places because it takes place in Monroeville, and I went there for the Dawn of the Dead.
I wanted one of those fucking jerseys so bad. The Monroeville Zombies.
They sell them at the comic shop.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, they
I didn't notice
shirts.
it. I've only been there like maybe 4 times. Been there a handful times. I like that place.
You just go to the stash and get one.
Yeah, I know. The stash is a bit of a drive now. We should do that one day if you're down. Take a fucking trip. I would like to go and do that whole thing. Go to the video store and the Quick Stop and go to maybe we can run into Walt and Brian Johnson.
And they can be like, "Hey, we're filming a show. Can you please leave us alone?" Hi, Walt. Hi, Walt.
Hey, guy, we're filming a show too.
Spinning.
Oh, that kid was great. Love you, Trent.
Yeah. Big screen, small talk is Team Trent.
It's Team Trent all the way. Justin Long steals that movie.
Yes, in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Brandon St. Randy. I'll be a Sherpa up the mountain.
More like
gayness.
Gary sucks Ross's big fat meaty cock. That stupid voice he puts on. Did you know he was originally cast as the brother in Wedding Crashers?
Justin Long?
Yeah.
I could see that.
And then Keira O'Donnell came in and totally blew it out of the park. And
he fucking nails it.
It's fucking that's hysterical.
You can't even compete with him.
And what Texans expect teams to make a late final offer. They should just take Jadeveon Clowney and be done with it, so it doesn't take 17 hours. Yeah, that's another movie that didn't make much money. I mean, none of his movies are really like that fucking
point.
Listening to that when that story, it's fucking heartbreaking.
Two.
There's nobody else in Hollywood or in film that I want to have a fucking blockbuster more than Kevin Smith.
One person I want to have a blockbuster more than Kevin Smith is George A. Romero.
Okay. Yeah, Romero deserves one.
I'd like him to have one in his later life so he can just.
I hope. Well, I mean, he's getting up there now.
Every time I see him at a convention, I feel bad because I'm like, he's gonna die and I'm gonna miss it.
There was something I just saw on I think it was Facebook, like 5 horror movies that George Romero was offered first, and that he passed on. I didn't bother to read the article, so I don't know what the point of me bringing it up is. But there was fuck, I forget. Never mind. I forget. There was a couple pictures.
Good talk, man.
Yeah, it was
Good
great,
talk.
right? Good topic. I like Zack and Miri. I like Zack and Miri a lot, actually. It's a funny movie. Craig Robinson is really, really good in that movie.
Craig Robinson's good in everything.
I'm the producer.
He's in The Office. Did you meet him yet?
No, I haven't met him yet. I've started. If anyone's listened to the Gentleman's Agreement snippet of Tiny Talks, I have started watching The Office. I've watched 2 episodes so far, and I'll get back to you. I'm not totally sold.
But anyways, he's in that, and he's really funny in that.
He's good in that. And I like they got Tracy Lords and Katie Morgan, 2 actual porn stars, and they're okay in it. Muse is in it, and he's typical Muse. Randall, Jeff Anderson is in that movie. Mm-hmm. Small little role. But no, I mean it's a solid comedy. It's not the best thing I've ever seen, but it's by far not the worst thing I've ever seen. I don't think it's his worst movie either.
No, it has a different look to it and a different feel.
It doesn't feel like a Kevin Smith movie.
Exactly, and I see that's why people want to give it crap.
Which is funny because
and
a lot of people.
And he put it out on Halloween, so that didn't help either.
Yeah, but it's funny though because I feel like a lot of people give him crap because his movies look like Kevin Smith movies, and then he does one that's totally not in his realm, and it might have been like.
It's still not what people want to see.
It might have been the biggest bust for him, especially with all of the star power. And I mean, Elizabeth Banks wasn't quite where she is now, but I mean, it was might have been one of her first like legit starring.
She was in 4-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah, but she was barely in that movie.
She's in Frozen now.
She's in Frozen? Elizabeth Banks was in Frozen?
The Disney movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the voice.
No, she's not. It's Kristen Bell.
Oh, okay. I got it mixed up.
Let it go. Let it go.
I get those 2 mixed up all the time.
I like that movie. You want to build a snowman?
Do you want to build a snowman?
Ride our bikes around the hall. I love that movie. What is next on our Kevin Smith?
It's like you've gone away.
Good movie. Kevin, if you're listening to this, man, I hope you're enjoying this. We big fans.
The next one's Cop Out, which is probably, it might be my least favorite.
Just said how big of a fan we are of Kevin Smith, and then we follow it up with maybe his worst movie. I don't hate Cop Out. I don't hate Cop Out.
Sorry, I was drinking. No, I don't hate Cop Out by any stretch of the imagination.
That's a movie that I felt, but he didn't write that movie. He just straight up directed it. This was, I think, this might have been his first movie that he just directed.
Well, by looking at my list, yep.
Just I don't know that you want to talk about a movie that doesn't look or feel like a Kevin Smith movie. That more so than I think Zack and Miri doesn't. It just
the best scene is when they're actually like in the diner booth talking. He's like, I can do this. Like
the beginning scene in the movie that we talking about, the interrogation.
That scene's
that's
great.
Hysterical when he starts breaking into all of those fucking. These are not the robots you're looking for.
Droids.
Is that what he's? Sorry. Sorry.
He's like, yippee guy, yeah, you motherfucker. And he's like, I don't know that one.
Yeah. I like Bruce. Bruce to me can do no wrong.
What bigger?
Yeah. He starts to the color purple. Hoppo. It's funny. And then
I love that.
The banter between him, Tracy Morgan, and Sean William Scott is really
He's
good.
Like, knock, knock. If you care about my friendship at all, you will not. Who's there?
Don't do it, Jim. Don't you do it.
Don't do it.
I don't like Tracy Morgan. I'm not a Tracy Morgan
weird.
fan. Why is that weird?
I wasn't when I first watched Cop Out, I wasn't. But 30 Rock changed that for me.
He's one of those guys, man, that like,
he has that scene in Jay and Silent Bob, which is really good.
Yeah, that's all right. I mean, it's not the most memorable scene in that movie. I don't. He's one of those guys to me that's always on like 12, And if he was down to like a 7, I'd like him a lot more. Like Robin Williams is the same way for me. It's like every time you see him, it's like, oh no, and he's up and down, he's walking. It's like, relax, man. Just fucking tell your story. You don't got to jump on the fucking table. I don't know. I wasn't a big fan of Tracy Morgan when he was on SNL either. I liked the Brian Fellows sketch. I don't know if you watched that, where he was the world's worst animal handler. Didn't know anything about animals. He always sat in this safari outfit, and these guys would bring animals on, and he would start like daydreaming that the animals were talking to him, and just out of nowhere, like the guy was talking about this. Shut up, Snake! And he was just, I'm Brian Fellow, and he kept just announcing his name and everything. That's the only thing that I really like as far as Tracy Morgan is concerned. I'm just not a big fan.
No, I mean
that movie missed the mark, I thought.
Yeah, but there's still scenes I love it.
No, there's scenes that are. I mean, it's not a bad movie, but I mean, if I had to say this is my least favorite Kevin Smith movie, I think I would honestly think that it's safe to say that Cop Out would be
correct.
the bottom of
and
that
I think
list.
it's mostly because he didn't write it.
Yeah, I think that affects it a lot.
Kevin Smith, the pen is mightier than the sword.
Yeah.
I mean, you write it.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be fucking good.
We're going to like it.
Who can write it? You can write it.
And then he followed that up with his first horror movie.
Yep.
Which was totally self-funded, fan-funded.
Was it?
He took that. He made that movie. I would hate to get this wrong, but I know it was funded. He made that himself, and then instead of getting like distribution like normally, like when it goes, he took it on like a traveling road show, and that's where the Go to Hell was. That's stand-up special, Burn in Hell. Yeah. It was, he would take the movie, he would introduce the flick, show the movie, and then at the end of the movie would do a Q&A about the movie and stuff.
Okay.
And he just went from state to state to state, released it on VOD, was one of the first movies that when the video on demand was getting, new in theaters, was one of the first ones that I remember anyway that was released on video on demand. And I was like, holy shit. And it was $10. And I remember I got all excited and I was like, oh, it's $10, save it. I don't got to pay $20 to go see it, and I can sit in my fucking house, watch it on my fucking TV. And that's, to me, it's like two different movies. The first half is one movie, and then the second half is a total different fucking movie.
Well,
and you said that's
I've only seen it one time, so I can't really judge the film as a whole. But he wrote it with that in mind, because he started it one way, and then he sent some to Brian Johnson,
mm-hmm.
And then no, it wasn't Brian Johnson. I'm not sure if it was Brian Johnson or if it was his other friend, the gay one.
What's his?
Is his other friend named Brian?
Is it?
I'm not sure.
Damn it!
Anyways,
I like that guy too.
Yeah, we missed your friends.
Shit.
I think he directed Small Town Gay Bar, which was really good.
That was good. I watched that. I liked that.
Well, one of the two, and every time he'd send him some, he would just twist whatever was going to happen. So that's how he wrote that movie. That's why there's such abrupt changes. And
there's a big change in tone in that movie. Michael Parks is really good in that movie. The guy who plays Abel, I can't remember his name. I've only seen Red State twice. Michael Parks is really good, though. The stuff that Kevin Smith wrote for him. There's that one scene, the first time you meet him when he's in the church and he's giving his sermon. It's like it goes on like for a really long time. It's a big fucking monologue, but it's so good, and he delivers it so perfectly. And then it gets, I don't know, it just goes off the rails. It turns into this fucking Waco FBI standoff movie, and I mean, I liked it. I don't like it.
Yeah, I remember first it starts off as three kids trying to lose their virginity.
Trying to get laid. No, I don't know if it's they're just trying to get laid, yeah. Okay. And they run into Melissa Leo.
And then it turns into like a kidnap movie, and then it turns into a religious movie, and then it turns into
to the Waco type stuff. And it's, I don't know, it's cool. I don't know if I'd classify it as a horror movie as it was being classified as, but it's definitely a suspensey flick. I don't know. I dug it. It's for something.
Tarantino loves that fucking movie.
I know. For being something totally out of his wheelhouse, Kevin Smith. I thought he succeeded. I thought it was a really, really good movie. I enjoyed it. Probably my second least favorite Kevin Smith movie, just because I like everything else so much. Yeah.
It's picking out the shiniest piece of gold.
Yeah, it's hard. It's I don't know. It's hard when you like everything that somebody does. You know. So I guess we can do a quick of what's next for Mr. Kevin Smith / Silent Bob.
We got Tusk,
which I'm interested in.
I'm interested in Clerks 3.
I'm curious what they're going to do.
I want to see the story because I didn't think Clerks 2 was necessary either, and then
I didn't think Clerks 2 was necessary, but I thought he ended it. Like I don't know where you go from
Randall's kid,
from Clerks 2. Randall's kid.
Randall.
Or maybe it's Dante's kid. Dante had the
Dante
baby
already,
Rosario Dawson.
In my mind, when I think Clerks 3, Dante already has the kid. They've already been running the quick stop for a little bit.
When Randall ends up knocking some girl out.
And then Randall ends up, and Dante kind of has to like guide him into parenthood.
Huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I can picture a really cool relationship where once Randall's not the guy who knows everything.
Yeah.
Because in the first two films, though he may be abrasive and a jerk, he still knows everything. Yeah. And he's trying to get Dante to understand what he already knows.
Yeah, it would be cool to see the roles reversed a little
reversed.
bit. Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't hate that. I'm interested in Tusk because I mean that I'm more interested after hearing the little bits I heard about it. Yeah, I'm more interested in that than I was Red State when I heard about it.
Okay, then we also have Hell in a Handbag,
which I have no idea what that's about.
It is about civilization and hell.
Really?
Joining forces to take down a giant resurrected Jesus. At least that's what it says on IMDb.
Okay.
That's the story.
Interested?
Yeah.
Huh.
The Hit Somebody.
Hit Somebody, which was going to be a movie, and it sounds like a TV series. It's based on a Warren Zevon song titled the same name. Yeah, Hit Somebody. About a hockey goon. And then, isn't there something else?
Anti-Claus.
Anti-Claus, which was, Krista. What was the name of the original name? Was it Meet the Krampus? Or Here Comes the Krampus, something like that. So, I mean, he's got, for somebody who said he was retiring from film, he's got a big fucking calendar on of movies coming up. So, I mean, whatever he does, I'm there. You know,
yeah, my ass is in the seat. I'm paying. Like, I'll go see whatever if it can come to me. The reason I understand where he's coming from, where he wants to, give it up. When you're under that much scrutiny all the time, and if you're not writing stuff you love, like his last 3 movies, think about it. Like Red State was the last one he probably really was a project of passion for him.
Yeah, but again, as far as like having a story to tell, like Jersey Girl, I feel like was a little bit about him having his daughter and stuff like that.
A story he needs to tell.
Yeah. Something, personal.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I'm there. Whatever he does, I'm interested in, and 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna really like it.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, Kevin from this movie
one
fan,
fat guy to another.
Good job, sir, and continue
yes,
it.
Sir.
You've entertained these 2 guys for a long time. So
let's see. 94 is when Clerks was released. I was born in 88. So I was 6 years old.
I was 13.
When Clerks came out.
I was 13.
And I've been entertained ever since.
Clerks is good. Yeah. So from the first time I saw Clerks was the first one of his that I saw, and I was like, oh, this guy's good. Wow, this guy. How old is this guy? Because it sounds like all these guys talk like me. It's cool, man. Kevin Smith is a good director, and
he's one of the best storytellers.
Yeah, I think so. The pen is mightier than the sword, as you said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that'll wrap up our first director spotlight on Big Screen Small Talk. Don't forget to go to our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/
Big Screen Small Talk,
and follow us on Twitter at
BWST Podcast or BWST Podcast.
Subscribe to our videos on YouTube.
Like
Check
our
out. Yeah, subscribe, check out. We're going to be throwing new stuff up there. There's going to be Tiny Talks coming from time to time. We're going to have some videos coming from time to time. Godzilla's coming out, so I'm sure we're going to go see that.
Neighbors is this weekend. Godzilla and Blended is next weekend.
And the weekend after that is X-Men. So, look forward to those coming up. And, with that being said, I'm Anthony Matola.
I'm Ryan Waltz.
And we'll see you when we see you.